I remember the sound before I remember the moment, the soft clink of her laughter, the kind she only used when she was truly happy. But that night it wasn't for me. The restaurant was dimly lit, the kind of place where every table had its own little candle flickering in the middle like a heartbeat. Our 12th anniversary. 12 years. I'd booked the table weeks in advance, the same spot where I'd proposed to her. It was supposed to be perfect. But life, I've learned, doesn't crumble all at once. It falls apart in quiet moments. 5 minutes at a time. "Ethan, you look nervous," Claire had said with that teasing smile, swirling her wine. "I just want tonight to be special," I said. Her hair caught the candlelight as she tilted her head. "It already is." And for a moment I believed her. She looked stunning. Emerald dress, the one I'd bought her last Christmas, soft curls cascading down her shoulders. She was everything I'd fallen in love with, sitting across from me like nothing in the world had changed. Until my phone buzzed. I glanced at it. The number was unfamiliar, work-related, I assumed. I'd been handling a contract dispute for weeks. "Just a quick call," I told her. "Won't be long." She smiled, waved me off. "Go ahead. I'll order dessert." I kissed her forehead before stepping out. 5 minutes, I told myself. Just 5 minutes. The call lasted barely 3. When I returned, the table was empty. Her wine glass half full. Her purse gone. At first, I thought maybe she'd gone to the restroom. Then I saw it. Her phone buzzing against the tablecloth, screen lighting up with a message. "He's here. Come outside." My stomach tightened. I stared at the name above the message. Nathan. Nathan was her coworker. I'd met him once at a company event. Tall, easy smile, the kind of guy who filled a room just by walking in. I remember the way he looked at her then. Too long, too warmly. I told myself it was just my imagination. I wish I'd been wrong for once. I looked toward the entrance and saw her through the glass doors, standing outside in the glow of the streetlights, that same emerald dress shimmering faintly. And next to her, him. Nathan. She wasn't arguing. She wasn't shocked. She was smiling. And then she hugged him. It wasn't a friendly hug. It was the kind of hug that erases years of distance. The kind that said, "We've done this before." Froze. My chest felt like someone had poured concrete into it. The world around me blurred. The waiters, the soft music, the laughter of other couples. Everything became muffled except for the sound of my pulse hammering in my ears. I wanted to storm out. Demand an explanation. Scream, maybe. But I couldn't move. Instead, I watched as she reached up, cupped his face and kissed him. A long, slow, deliberate kiss. Right there on our anniversary. I don't remember how I got home that night. I just remember the silence of our bedroom, the faint scent of her perfume on the sheets, and the ring on her nightstand glinting like an accusation. 2 a.m. she came back. I pretended to be asleep, though my heart was thundering in my chest. She slipped quietly into bed beside me, her movements careful, rehearsed, like she'd done it before. I wanted to ask why. I wanted to ask how long. But I didn't. Couldn't. I just stared into the darkness, feeling the distance between us stretch wider than it ever had. The next morning, she acted like nothing had happened. "Coffee?" she asked, cheerful as ever. "Sure," I muttered. She poured 2 cups, added just the right amount of sugar to mine, like she always did. For a second, I almost convinced myself it was all a misunderstanding. Maybe what I saw wasn't what it looked like. But then her phone buzzed again. "Name. Nathan." Her smile faltered. I said quietly, "You should answer it." Her hand froze around the cup. "What?" "I saw you last night." Her breath hitched, the color draining from her face. "Ethan, don't." I didn't yell. Didn't cry. My voice was calm, but it cut like glass. "You left in the middle of our anniversary dinner. You kissed him. I saw everything." For a long moment she said nothing. Then she sat down, eyes glistening. "It's not what you think." I laughed bitterly. "Please. Don't insult me with that line." Her lips trembled. "I didn't plan it. Swear." He showed up unexpectedly And you what? Lost control. You've been seeing him, haven't you? She looked down, silent. That silence told me everything. It started, she said, after I began working longer hours. She felt lonely. Nathan listened, made her laugh, helped her feel seen again. He made you feel seen, I repeated, the words sour in my mouth. And what was I? Invisible. Her eyes filled with tears. I never wanted to hurt you, Ethan. I just wanted what? Snap. A backup plan. A thrill. A sob. I don't know. I stared at her, and for the first time, I didn't recognize the woman sitting in front of me. 12 years. 12 birthdays. 12 Christmases. We'd built a home, a life, shared dreams. And yet in one night. No, in 5 minutes, it all shattered. For days I lived like a ghost. She kept trying to talk, to apologize, to explain. But her words meant nothing anymore. I replayed that image in my head. Her lips against his, her hand on his cheek, her smile. At work, I'd sit in meetings and hear nothing. My colleagues' voices were distant echoes. I'd come home to find her waiting, hopeful, broken, saying she still loved me. But love shouldn't hurt like this. A week later, I asked her to pack a bag. Please don't do this, she whispered. We can fix it. We can go to therapy. Claire, I interrupted. You made your choice. Tears streamed down her face. It was a mistake. No, I said, steady but hollow. A mistake is forgetting an anniversary. What you did was a decision. She stood there for a long time, trembling, then finally walked upstairs. I heard drawers opening, the soft rustle of fabric. When she came back down, she was clutching the small suitcase I'd bought her for our 10th anniversary trip to Italy. I almost laughed at the irony. At the door she turned. I never stopped loving you. I looked at her one last time. You just stopped respecting me. And with that I closed the door. The days after blurred together. I couldn't sleep in our bed. It smelled like her. Couldn't listen to our playlist. It reminded me of what we'd lost. But grief is a strange thing. It doesn't leave all at once. It fades slowly, peeling away layer by layer until only numbness remains. I began running again. Spent time with my brother. Rediscovered quiet. Sometimes I'd still think of her. Of the way she laughed when we first met. Of the late nights talking about nothing and everything. I'd wonder if she thought of me too. But those thoughts hurt less as time passed. Months later, she showed up at my office. I almost didn't recognize her. Thinner, paler, eyes heavy with regret. Ethan, she said softly. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. For everything. I looked at her, the woman I'd once loved more than anything. I know. She hesitated. I thought you hated me. I did, I admitted. For a while. But hate's just love that's lost its way. She nodded, tears glimmering. He left me, you know. I didn't flinch. That's not my burden anymore. And for the first time I felt free. Later that night, I sat alone on the balcony, watching the city lights flicker below. I thought about that evening again, our 12th anniversary dinner. How 5 minutes had changed everything. But maybe I realized those 5 minutes didn't destroy me. They revealed the truth I'd been too blind to see. Love isn't proven by anniversaries or gifts or perfect dinners. It's proven in the moments when no one's watching, when loyalty is a choice, not a convenience. I raised my glass to the night sky and whispered, "Here's to 5 minutes that set me free." And for the first time in months I smiled.